Thanks for watching and listening to the OGs. Be sure to follow us on all forms of social media. We can be found on our YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you can follow our live game streams and our Let's Plays on Twitch. Be sure to support our partners, Gamefly, Rogue Energy, GameStop, Esports Furniture, XP Coffee, and Humble Bundle.
Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the OGs Pod. I'm your host B-Max, and with me is my buddy Ryan, aka Touched Artist. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing all right, man.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to getting into this.
For the third time.
Take 3.
Take 3 of episode 4. Yeah. I mean,
seriously.
Technical issues along the way. We're okay with showing a little bit of how the sausage is made, but you know,
yep.
We have it's late. We're recording super late. But you know, that's what happens when technical things start to go crazy. But well, we're here to talk a little bit about all these awesome things going on in gaming. So I'm excited to jump in. So
at the end of the day, we are human. You know what I mean? Things happen. Yeah, we're not professionals. We're working on it. We're getting there.
Not a robot. I wish.
Sometimes I'm with you on that.
Or if I could have a clone just to do the other things I need to have done.
Yes, and that would be dope. But yeah, so today's episode, we're going to talk about some news, some wonderful things going on in the gaming industry. We're going to talk about what we're playing, and we're going to wrap up the show with the main topic, which is the PlayStation Stars program. So let's go ahead and dive on in. First story are the Madden 23 player ratings. EA has been slowly but surely letting us see how our favorite NFL athletes are looking this season. The very first day, they kicked it off with wide receiver ratings. And number 1 overall, Mr. 99 himself, Davante Adams.
I'm here for it.
I think he's officially your boy now that he's a Raider.
He is officially my boy. Yeah, until he leaves. Because, you know, nobody comes to the Raiders and stays long term. But yeah, it's just recently, I mean, and we'll get into that because I'm going to talk smack about a former Raider as well. I guarantee it's going to happen. But yeah, I'm really excited about Davante Adams being a Raider and hitting that 99 rating. I think I don't know that the Raiders have ever had a 99 rated player in Madden.
I mean, I don't know. There's this guy named never mind. I'm thinking Tecmo Bowl. Thinking Bo
Well,
Jackson.
yeah, that's what I said in Madden. Like, I mean, they had Bo in Tecmo Bowl, but I don't know that. I don't even think when like he's been historically in like the Ultimate Team mode. If Bo was a 99.
If he was a 99. Ooh, that's a good. I have to look into that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I always miss out on with the Madden games or even the FIFA games. I know it's a big deal, but Ultimate Team, I always miss out on it. Just never give it the time that it probably deserves. I heard it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of pay to win.
Got you.
There was an Ultimate Legends 99 overall Bo Jackson card in this
there we
year's
go.
game
Okay.
even.
Well, look at that.
And 20 and 21.
Okay.
So yes, but like a player in the game,
current.
like current player, I would guess the closest one was probably maybe Mac when he was a Raider.
Oh, Khalil Mack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense. I could see that. Man, that guy's been everywhere. He's in LA now, right? He's a Charger?
Yeah, he was a Bear and then now he's a Charger.
But yeah, the list of wide receivers, we could just touch on that real quick. I think the top 10 list starts off clean and then makes sense. And then once you see, no disrespect to Justin Jefferson, it gets a little funky to me. Like, these are great wide receivers, but I don't know if Amari Cooper is a 90 overall.
Oh, no, no, he sucks.
Of course he sucks now that he's a Brown, huh?
He sucked as a Cowboy too. I like
Yeah.
you leave the Raiders, you're dead to me.
You're officially dead.
Yeah, like
It's funny.
I don't care. I hope that he chokes on a chicken bone. I I mean, he's a Brown too, which doesn't help any because I don't like the Browns. I like the original Browns better than I like the current Browns. Like, I actually like the Ravens better.
So the Ravens, yeah.
Yeah, I like the Ravens better. And I don't like them really either.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. Like, I'm a Bengals fan, so if you're from the AFC North, I don't like you unless you're a Bengal. There's Browns, Steelers, Ravens, out of here. No thanks.
Yeah, there's really 4 teams that I dislike a lot. It's the Steelers, the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. And I should hate the Chargers by default. But the powder blue jersey always has like a special place in my heart for whatever reason. Like, I really like it. I actually own one.
Oh, nice. Which player?
David Boston. So it's old school.
Oh,
like
wow. Yeah, okay.
And it's an authentic. Like, and I only own a few authentic NFL jerseys, and his was one of them.
Nice.
'Cause he was one of my favorite college players when he played at Ohio State. And I'm not a big Ohio State fan either, so there's like that's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love that powder blue Chargers jersey. So that gets them a pass in some instances. But when they're playing the Raiders, I hope they get bent too.
Just choke.
I mean, I just years of being a Raiders fan and struggling to get wins and things have made some of those relationships with other teams just non-bearable.
No, I feel you on that.
So, and as someone who's a Bengals fan, you definitely understand what that's like.
Oh yes, most definitely.
But that's why some of these ratings are really hard to stomach.
Yes, like I was gonna say, speaking of being a Bengals fan, Jamar Chase being an overall 87, to me, I think is kind of disrespectful. This man balled out of control last season, and it was his rookie season, and it didn't look to me. I get it. Maybe my eyes are I don't know, crappy. Need to get checked out because I'm a Bengals fan. But it didn't seem like it was luck. Like, this man literally balled out of control.
Well, and I don't know, and I don't know if it's because I watch more AFC than NFC.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf from the Seahawks are both rated above him.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't get me wrong. Those are 2 great receivers. But, I mean...
Are they, though?
I think so.
Or were they beneficiaries
I wouldn't say
of having
good. I would
a really
say
good quarterback that would sling them the rock? I mean, that's the other... So that's kind of where the argument could come for Jamar Chase, too. But I saw that man catch balls that I was like, that's incomplete.
Right.
Like, immediately I would be like, that's... And then he would catch it, and you're like, what?
Yeah. I mean, even, like, the yards he would get after the catch. You think, okay, wow, he came down with the ball, and that's into the play. There's... You know what I mean? Like, there were a couple times where I thought he was going to step out of bounds and didn't. There was a couple times where I thought one person was going to tackle him, and then 3 defenders later, he's in the end zone. Like, he to me, he seemed like a complete receiver. At least a 90 overall, not an 87. And I get it; it's not that big of a difference to most people who don't play, sports games. But when you hit 90 and above, you're really a standout like player on the team. That is someone you kind of, when you're desperate and got to get the ball to someone, you're going to look at your 90s and above versus your 80s and your 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you look at Chase and you think 94 speed, 93 acceleration, 73 strength, 87 agility, and 92 awareness.
Jesus.
Like, how does that, like, where's it fall off?
Where's the fall off?
You can't, on the ratings, you can't see anything past that. Like, there's no way to see any additional ratings. Like, and I know the game will edit throughout. Like, as the season progresses, they do the weekly edits. But I don't if he's not in the top 10 at the end of the season, it's because he got injured.
Right.
Like that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
You know, and
Is it like
I just don't. I don't know. I think, and again, we're harping on a Bengal because we're from Cincinnati, but
yeah, we are local boys.
Like it's one of those that I just don't get.
Right.
Similar to the one that I don't get for running backs is I don't get Nick Chubb at a 96. I know you're going to kind of argue
Nick Chubb
with me on this one,
beast.
but
He's a dog.
Yeah, he's also a Cleveland Brown, and they have two Cleveland Browns in the top 20 at running back.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's really good too.
Yeah, I don't. No.
Yeah, I don't know about like. We talked about this earlier. Like, once again, I think Nick Chubb is very good, but I think Jonathan Taylor for the Colts is a better running back.
For sure.
I get it. It's just one slot. Chubb being 96 versus Taylor being a 95. I would literally just kind of whoop. And then even Dalvin Cook, I would kind of, you know what I mean? I would put Nick Chubb like right above Joe Mixon, personally.
Well, and we're talking about 87 being a snub for Jamar Chase. Josh Jacobs from the Raiders got an 87 in running back as well.
Yeah, that's kind of a slap in the face for him too, because he's a wonderful back.
And I beast out with him in Madden. Like,
he's good.
Jacobs up the gut. Oh, they're running up the gut again. Like,
very strong running back.
And I'll hold out, and this is totally me from like watching him play on Christmas Day and balling out, but I think Alvin Kamara is a better running back than Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
man. And he got a 90. 90. I mean, 90 is quality in this game, like, right? So Joe Mixon's the next one above him at a 93.
Wow.
But, like, the difference between a 96 and a 90...
Yeah, I'm with you.
I just think that Kamara's a better running back than that.
I agree with you. Especially when it comes to, like, he's not like a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? He's someone that you can hand it off to. He's someone that can handle a sweep versus, like, just straight up the middle. He can handle passes as well. Just all around, just standout player. Like, he's someone you have to watch every play. Versus other running backs that are above him that you would kind of just expect to show off when they're handed the ball, not necessarily throwing the ball. Not every single one above him, but some, So, I agree. I agree with you 100%. I wonder if it kind of comes down to, like you were saying before, who's giving them the ball, affecting their stats. Because
I think that we're in a day and age where the fullback doesn't exist
at all. Yeah, they use tight ends as fullbacks now.
Yeah. One, I don't get it because I still think like Lorenzo Neal was one of the best fullback. Like, I loved watching him play.
Same here.
I think that a lot of the receivers the running backs that they list highly are also decent receivers out of the backfield.
That's true.
Chubb may not be, but you look at Derrick Henry. Like, screen passes to him, little dump-off routes, Christian McCaffrey.
Especially McCaffrey.
Taylor, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I think Joe Mixon might be one of the best receivers. Like, I mean, I know this is crazy. He's probably one of the best receivers in the league out of the backfield.
Right.
And he gives them a fourth receiving threat. Maybe a fifth receiving threat if you want to include tight end for Burrow.
No, you're right.
Too.
No, I agree with you.
But I just 93 for Mixon seems right, but
I agree.
Chubb at a 96 seems wrong because it just
a little high.
It seems too high for me.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Joe Mixon does this season. I mean, look at what he did last year without an offensive line. Everyone's excited that Joe Burrow has an offensive line, but now Joe Mixon has an offensive line. So, this season's going to be a little, as a Bengals fan, a little exciting.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, some of the bookmakers think they're going to make the Super Bowl again, and I'd be all about it if that...
man, I would love to see it.
I mean, the way this town reacted to it was cool. And I literally went to a playoff game wearing Raiders and Bengals stuff. So, I mean, like, I could get into that again. But every year we have these player ratings come out. Obviously, our show's going to release on Friday, and the QB ratings will come out. So, so we'll have to argue later about quarterbacks because I'm sure that there's going to be at least one quarterback that I'm going to be pissed about their rating.
Let's go ahead and just throw it out there. Who are you talking about? Who do you think is going to get either overrated or snubbed?
I think that the most overrated quarterback in this game is going to be for the Baltimore Ravens.
Lamar Jackson?
And I think Lamar Jackson is going to be super overrated. I think that they think he is Mike Vick.
Right. I mean, he's used that way, unfortunately.
I think he's a quality quarterback. I mean, he's 25 years old.
Yep, pretty young guy.
He's fairly young still. He played at Louisville, so I've seen a ton of him. Right. Given that UC is like the only college program near us to go see games. Like I saw him play a lot because they were in the same conference early on. I think he is a quality quarterback. I think that he gets the benefit of the speed in Madden and the number of people you see roll out with him and then just run with him.
Right.
I think that Tom Brady's going to be a little overrated, and I can't believe I'm saying that because he's been just such a great quarterback career-wise.
Yep. Unfortunately, no one can beat Father Time, man. It's going to catch up with him eventually.
I just think eventually he's going to fall off a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And then I think Carr's going to get underrated a little bit.
Probably right about that.
But he's slow in the game. Like, he's definitely pocket.
Yeah, he has a cannon, though, right?
And yeah. And, I mean, his accuracy is pretty solid, especially on, like, short to medium passing routes. Historically in the game, he's pretty good. He just signed another long-term deal with the Raiders to be a Raider for a while.
Nice.
And I kind of chuckled about it because I was like, man, I don't know if that's what they need to do. But I think as far as Madden goes, I think he's going to get a decent rating. I think he'll be a little underrated. I'll be amazed if Burrow isn't a 90 or above.
Yeah, dude. Like, I personally think Burrow will be top 10, but the way that they're snubbing, well, I won't say snubbing all Bengals, but the way they snubbed Jamar Chase, he may be top 15 instead of top 10.
I think a lot of people think this past season for the Bengals was a fluke.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can see where they're coming from to a certain extent because it had been so long since they had really made a real run at things. Right. But it'll be interesting to see, like, with, and for me, like, as a Raiders fan, like, there's some good players on that Raiders offense.
Definitely. No, they were a really good team last year.
But other teams out west really loaded up on their defenses during the offseason. So
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
I could see the Raiders team rating dropping quite a bit through the season this year, but I hope not. But we, those player ratings, even in FIFA, like when those player ratings come out, players laugh and joke and talk about, how it feels to be snubbed. But I think,
right.
We talked about Jamar Chase at the beginning, and I think he handled it fairly well.
I agree. He just had a simple comment. He like, hey, I'm aware of it, and it's just motivation for me to be better.
Yeah.
So, what more could you ask for from a pro athlete in today's,
especially a young,
the way things are these days, like that's a great response.
Right. A rookie, that's a big deal. Like, this is year 2, essentially his sophomore outing, if you will. But you get players in FIFA that get their rating and are super upset, like MLS players, like, oh, I'm only a 65, and it's like, well,
right,
yeah, because you play in MLS, bro. Like, it's not the Premier League, like, but I'm excited about FIFA again this year too.
It'll be here in September.
Yeah, so it's releasing September 30th. So Madden is my August game, and FIFA is going to be my, well, I guess it's going to be my October game because it's coming out on the 30th of September.
Oh,
but
right.
it's there were I'm gonna when that comes out, I'll be dissecting some of the FIFA rankings for these guys too. Like when they, like, is Messi better or is Ronaldo better? Who's gonna be, So,
Yeah, I'll have to do a little research, so I'm not just sitting here listening.
Well, I figured that might be one of those like break off episodes, like on an off week, where I just talk about the ratings in FIFA. But because some people will want to hear me rant about it and others won't, so I don't want to bore people in a regular episode with those. I know it's such a
yeah, there's someone out here that loves FIFA and soccer just as much as you do that want to hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a room that's literally painted orange and blue because of FC Cincinnati. So
I'm in a room painted orange because of the Bengals. So hey, we're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah. But we talking about just random games like that people enjoy, and there's one that a lot of gamers are really looking forward to. That's Bayonetta 3.
It's finally coming this year.
Yeah, so October, right? I haven't beat the second one yet.
Same. I beat the first one, and I hope this isn't a hot take, but like I enjoyed the gameplay because it reminded me of Devil May Cry for obvious reasons. Yeah. But that's kind of as far as it went for me. I was really looking forward to like getting through both of them to be ready for 3, and it just didn't. I don't know. It was just okay.
Nope.
The gameplay was great, but
I actually agree with you on that one. I thought that the story was lacking.
Yeah, and I get it. They're supposed to be over the top and ridiculous, but it was a bit too much for me. I was just like,
we're also not necessarily the target audience for this game.
That's very true.
I feel like it's much more of a female empowerment thing.
Yeah, definitely.
With a female protagonist. And mind you, one of my favorite games of all time is Horizon.
Yeah.
And it has a female protagonist, and I know they weren't coming at me when they put Aloy in that game. But
shout out to Aloy.
They did some stuff right there. But
I agree.
Bayonetta is going to have this like ability to turn your sexy on and off.
Naive angel mode.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm rather frustrated with it because I think if you're going to play a mature rated game, you know what you're getting yourself into.
That's true. Like the ESRB rating is there for a reason. And this isn't the first Bayonetta game. This is the third.
Yeah.
So in the first 2, you already are accustomed to her losing clothing or the hair that's wrapped around her coming off of her to showcase these stronger abilities. So it's just like, why are you backpedaling to cover her up if it's supposed to be empowering that things are coming off of her? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what the purpose of this was, unless they're just trying to make it a little bit more family friendly. Like if you're playing it, it's she'll have a full bodysuit on instead if you put it on that mode.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not playing Bayonetta because I want my kids to watch it. I'm playing Bayonetta because it's a mature rated game.
Exactly.
And because of the gameplay. I love hack and slash games. So, if I have a game that I want to play with my kids or I want my kids to watch, I'm going to be jumping into this WB Multiversus instead.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Oh, actually, real quick, before we transition to Multiversus, with the whole Bayonetta sexy or not naive angel outfit, only thing in my head that would make it make sense is if you are someone that's in public transit playing your Switch and you don't want to offend, and I'm not even saying Bayonetta being scantily clad is offensive, but instead of you having to explain what's happening to some random person that's being nosy and watching you play the game, like you can just choose to have her fully clothed. That's the only way to me that it kind of makes sense. Since, the screen on the Switch is a little large and, all it takes is someone to be nosy to be staring at you to see what you're doing. But I'm with you. Other than that, I don't really see a point.
I mean, if I'm on public transit and I'm playing my Switch, I'm going to be looking at somebody and be like, mind your business. I might hit them with the Fresh Prince, mind your business.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, I'm with you though.
I just think that it's mature rated for a reason. You know what you're getting into. You've probably played the other two. I don't know
Yeah.
very many people that are going to jump into Bayonetta 3 as their first iteration in the game.
Right.
And I'm sure they're going to be 1 and 2 will be on sale on the eShop.
Yeah.
You know, because people are
I
going to
think
want
they
to
just
jump into it.
So, because when 1 and 2 released on the Switch, it was like a double pack,
Yep.
and 1 was physical, 1 was digital, right?
Yeah. So 1
2
was 1 was a digital download, and
Yep.
2 was the physical cartridge.
Yeah, I think they are re-releasing the original Bayonetta as a physical cartridge.
Interesting.
I think I just
Well,
saw
I know
that.
there's a 3-pack like collector's edition of this game
Yeah.
that you can buy that has all 3. So that would be something.
To see it right here on GameStop's website. It's $29.99 for the standard Bayonetta 1 game.
All right.
Which releases in September 30th. So if you're a physical collector,
the same day as FIFA.
Look at that.
So that's
they want all your money, right?
That's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. But
sorry, back to Multiversus.
No, it's okay. So like jumping into this Multiversus game that looks like it's free to play, right?
Looks neat.
There's some people playing on Twitch, and there's some Twitch drops out there going down right now. As we're recording this, we're both playing that little Twitch drop game right now because we want to get into this. And we're actually going to play this on our stream next week. At least that's the plan.
That's the plan. As long as we have access to it.
Access to it. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's in beta now. You can buy into the game itself via the standard collectors or
the Founders Pack, I think, or did you mention that?
You can buy in. It's the there's the standard edition that's $39.99 of the Founders Pack, the deluxe edition of the Founders Pack, which is $59.99, or the premium edition of the Founders Pack, which is $99.99. If you don't want to just do the hour to get in and get a feel for it. I think playing it a little bit before, for me, it's going to be playing it a little bit to make sure that it's a little more well-rounded. I want it to be more like Smash, and less like
that Nicktoons game.
Yeah, Nicktoons, the one they just gave out for free. I thought that was okay for free on PlayStation Plus, but it definitely it definitely isn't a $60.
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, it released as something you had to purchase.
Yes, yeah, that was
so.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, it was like $49.99.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it was a full $60 or $69,
yeah.
But it wasn't free to play initially. It's actually still not free to play. They just gave it away for free on PlayStation consoles for PlayStation Plus members, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Is it on Game Pass? Do you know?
That I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
But it's possible. It's possible that it is, but I don't think so.
Right.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl was the name of it.
Yep.
But I don't know if it's on Game Pass or not. It doesn't look like it is, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm with you. I think it's worth trying out if you have, if you got it with PlayStation Plus. I don't know if it's worth your money, personally.
Yeah.
The cool thing about Multiverse is it seems like it's gonna be free to play if you can wait for it to launch, versus doing any of these Founders Packs. Or you can do what I'm doing and what Ryan's doing and watch on Twitch and get these drops so you can try it out. But it definitely looks like it's going to play better than that Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I mean,
fingers are definitely
So
crossed.
far, what I've seen on the viewing of the watching on Twitch, it's been pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be said about another fighting game that's like Smash.
Yeah, definitely.
If we can get another one that's popular and gets people interested in it. There's just so many good games coming out. We're really in a good time.
Good time.
As gamers, we can jump into some new stuff. And one of the ones that we've both been waiting on, that's coming out soon, actually.
Finally
has a release date. And it's funny, we say finally, but they literally just re-released this game on PC. And
that is true.
It's only 4 years from the previous one.
You're right about that as well.
2018 in game years, given that a pandemic happened, is not that far from the release.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that.
But God of War Ragnarok, November 9th.
Oh, man. Come on. Yeah, let's go.
I keep thinking more and more about this game, and I keep hoping that no one is put into a crunch situation to get this game to release.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like
I trust
it's
Cory Barlog, like he's always, like just kept a good eye on things, and I feel like we've never heard anything like terrible about this studio having that crunch. In Santa Monica studio has been very, very solid. Yep. I just wonder how many, like, if it's November 9th is your release date, we're like, the release of the show is the 22nd of July. We're not that far in the grand scheme of things. Like,
so that, to me, and obviously I don't develop games, but to me that means the game's pretty much finished and they're just polishing until
like you're 3 months out, really, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at like just cleaning up little things.
Yeah.
And the story in the God of War games is just so good that
top notch. Like, better than some shows or movies, personally.
Yeah, God of War 2018 was my game of the year in 2018. I did buy it again on PC, and I played it again. There are very few games that I play through multiple times because I have a backlog longer than I care to admit.
That lovely backlog.
Like, it's like, I'll play that eventually. Yeah, there's only so many hours in the day. I mean, we've all got, the two of us have kids. We're trying to juggle that and game and do the show and produce all this stuff and kind of get all of our things out there and,
it's all
live
easier said than done.
Like it, but there are games that you will make time for in life, and God of War
and this will be it. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, be like, sorry kids, stay away. I'm playing this. And
just give me like an hour.
I'm playing
or two
this
today.
in half naked Bayonetta, like mature rated games. Like, this is one that I won't play in front of my youngest.
Right.
Not because I don't think he can handle the content, actually, but like, I want him to be able to play this game when he's old enough to appreciate it.
Yeah, to appreciate everything the game has to offer.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm
and combat
excited.
And exploration. Yeah, I can't wait. The one thing that really has me excited is usually when you see release dates, you're like, okay, but it'll get pushed back. The fact that they have rolled out all versions, so like from the standard all the way up to the collector's editions, those have already been announced. They have already been up for pre-order. That's usually a good sign that they're pretty much locked in on this date.
I was amazed.
Obviously, things happen. What's that?
I was amazed that they announced this year.
Same.
I was 99.9% sure that
it wasn't going to happen.
When the Zelda game got pushed by Nintendo,
mm-hmm.
that meant God of War was going to be pushed by Sony.
Right. Everything's kind of out of its way right now. When I can't really think of something else in November that's as big as this. Because Call of Duty's October, right?
Call of Duty is just,
and it's not even on the same scale as this.
It's not anymore. I mean,
yeah,
MW2 is one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time. I literally just had to look up the release date because I couldn't remember.
Right, I know it's like October or something.
And I'm not even
worried about it.
Like, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can catch this game. I think that as far as IPs go, God of War is probably one of my favorite Sony IPs.
Yeah, same.
I mean, we got God of War, and then Sackboy, which I know is a weird one for everybody. Like, I love Sackboy. It's like I've played countless hours of different Sackboy games, and I still have yet to jump into Sackboy's Big Adventure.
Oh, dude, it's fun. I haven't finished it, but it's a good time.
I was gonna play it this past weekend, and it just didn't happen. Like, I had it on the screen, ready to go, and then all of a sudden something came up, and we had to bail. But
well, hey, I know we have plans to stream Multiversus next week, but I'm down to play it with you. You can do you can do couch co-op and online co-op with it.
Yeah, so. that one would be a fun one for sure because I want to play that one. I also want to do Ratchet and Clank.
I could do that like a watch along too. Like,
yeah, I haven't played that yet, and I'm excited to jump into that too. But
that's like the last game that I platinumed. Like, I got all the way to the end, and I went back to just complete everything. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
There's so many good games that are already out in the backlog, but there's so much stuff coming in the future as well.
Yeah.
And one that I know that you were kind of excited about, and I don't know if you're still excited about it, Skate. Now that it's been announced that it's free to play, are you still excited about it, or are you concerned because it's EA and it's free to play?
Man, so I'm torn. Like, I'm definitely excited about it. They released some footage, and they openly admitted that it was early footage. It looked very raw, but I appreciated the transparency and seeing the mechanics and the gameplay. I'm all in. Yes, the fact that it's free to play, kind of a bummer. I can say though, I've played enough free to play games within the past couple of years to where I do have that self control that they don't expect you to have. Yeah. So, I'll cut myself off at a number that I'm comfortable with in terms of microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like they deserve my money, if that makes any sense. Because obviously it's going to come down to characters. It's going to come down to skins. It's going to come down to clothing and all that, decks. And so it's going to come down to all that stuff costing, having you come out of pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
So having that self-control, I think I'm going to enjoy it. But I can totally understand why people are bummed out about it. But I think part of the reason why the other Skate games kind of just fell flat was because you kind of feel obligated to improve something and to make changes to something. And because all that stuff happens, at least back then, that means the customer is going to have to drop another $60. If this is a living, breathing service, as long as there are people enjoying it, I think they're going to continue to support it. And it won't fall flat as long as the people who like it actually still play it and enjoy it. So
I'm just afraid I'm afraid of it being the next Fortnite.
Yeah.
Where I'm pumping so much into it.
Yeah.
That, financially it's just a bad idea.
Right. No, I got you.
Are they going to have all these different skaters that I can buy, and are they going to have some sort of collaboration with different things where like I can get NFL uniforms on my skater, or like
right,
can I deck them out in all Raiders gear or something like that? Then I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah. I think I think you're onto something, and I think if they're smart about it, they're going to do it right. It'll be like actual skate brands, like, hey, this season we're going to do Nike SB. Or this season, Rob Dyrdek will be at this part of the skate park, to interact with. And if you do these challenges, you'll unlock some of his merch. Or, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a way to do it right and do it tastefully.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious though. I'm really curious to see how they're gonna pull that off. And then we do have one more topic in the news. So we'll just run through this real quick. I think it's a big deal. I think it's really cool. But you can now use Discord voice chat on your Xbox console. That's amazing.
Is it already active?
I believe it's currently active if you, I think, to select Xbox insiders. So if you're part of the Xbox Insiders program, I believe you have access.
So I need to.
Please check that out and get back to us on it, because I personally wish I could use. I mean, I still find a way to use Discord all the time whenever I'm on my Switch or my PlayStation or playing on PC. But if it was really integrated in my PlayStation to where I didn't have to like finagle another device to chat into, I would. Yeah, I really wish this is just the beginning, and the Discord voice chat ends up, maybe not. I would love to see it on Switch, of course, but I would love to, of course, definitely see it on PlayStation as well. I feel like it's a no-brainer. The service is just so great, and it's so simple and easy to use. What are your thoughts?
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good because you can chat in Discord with people on different platforms. I think that's important. I am a proponent, despite owning all of the consoles, of cross-platform play. I think that it's important for the future of gaming for you to select your console of choice and then be able to play with your friends no matter what their console of choice is. Do I still feel that first-party games are important and exclusives are important? Absolutely, because it drives hardware sales. But I want to be able to play Call of Duty with everybody that's playing Call of Duty, no matter what they're playing it on.
I agree.
I am frustrated still with the concept that we can't play certain games cross-platform because certain companies have said oh, we don't really want to do that, or we don't want to open that up. I'm a proponent of Nintendo not having voice chat. I understand why they don't want to do it, because they're geared towards a younger consumer.
Right.
But I also think that if I'm playing on my Switch and I'm a grown-ass man, that I should be able to chat on it.
Right. So the interesting thing with your take on Nintendo is there are platforms or games that have a workaround. Look at Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's the game that I wish Nintendo would kind of lock in and stop it from being so easy for people to just chat with whoever they want in that type of a game. But here we are, Epic found a workaround. You know what I mean? And kind of interesting.
I mean, my 5-year-old has a headset.
Yeah.
He does not have a mic on his headset.
There you go. Very smart.
So we just take the mics off. Even the headset that I have on right now, the mic is literally right here.
Nice.
It's set aside, and all of the headsets that he has access to are that way. Because we don't want him really chatting it up with anybody. But, it's not Nintendo's job to keep me as a parent from having my kid playing on it. It's really,
you're absolutely right.
Just let me as a grown adult get what I want.
Yeah.
And talk to who I want to talk to.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Exciting moment here. I just got the Multiverse Early Access key.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
So, I don't know what I do to get it now, but it just dropped.
I guess maybe check your email or something. I don't know. Fingers crossed.
It said just click here, and then it shows my inventory that I have the drop.
Okay.
But I guess it's probably part of my WB account.
Possibly,
You had to link your WB account to that game. But
okay.
No, I mean, I'm excited to play that game. Hopefully we can jump in and play that game together. Maybe someday we'll be able to play that game on Switch even.
Hey, you never know.
Never know.
Well, that's it for the news at this point. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Okay. See you in a minute. Be sure to visit our sponsor, Rogue Energy, and use the code DELUSIONGROUP to save 10% on your next order at rogueenergy.com.
All right, and welcome back. So our next segment, we're going to just run through what we're currently playing. I know we both dabble in a lot, but we always have like those games that I would consider comfort food, stuff that we always go back to. So the new game I'm dabbling in is Stray. It just released this past Tuesday. The cool thing about it is it's one of the first new releases that is tethered to the PlayStation Plus new tiered program. So there's Essential, and then there's Extra, and there's Premium, if I remember the tiers correctly. If you have Extra and Premium, Stray is included with the service, so you don't actually have to buy it. If you don't have PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium, it's a $30 game. Based on my experience with the game, I've only played like maybe an hour and a half, and I would say it's worth trying out with the service. I wouldn't say right here, right now is worth $30. It's a gorgeous game. It looks great. The presentation, the quality is top notch. But the game itself is pretty basic, and I don't mean any disrespect to the team that put their hard work and efforts into making the game itself. But you can tell that the love is there. You can tell they really love cats. The animations, the things that the cat actually does, really like makes you feel like you're a cat. As cheesy as that sounds. The circle is the meow button, and early on I thought it was important. As of right now, it doesn't really do much. So maybe later in the game it'll be important. But the biggest issue that I'm having with it so far is the jumping. So I was expecting a typical platformer where when you hit X to jump, you are choosing how far you want to jump and where you want to land. It's almost magnetized. You'll see a prompt where you can jump, and you won't miss ever. So if there's anything you're curious about going to, if there's no prompt to jump there, you can't get to it. So,
interesting.
Yeah, but the puzzles are also pretty straightforward. There's a little reel I put together on our IG of me solving one of the puzzles early on in the game. There's a fan that's blocking your path, and you find like a little bucket. You drop the bucket down a ramp, and then the blade of the fan gets locked up and creates an opening for you. So the puzzles are really nice and clever, but aren't overwhelming. It's a nice chill game. And then I'm back on Valorant.
Before we dive, we bust out of Stray.
Yeah,
that's an Annapurna interactive game, right?
Yes, it is.
So Neon White, Outer Wilds, What Remains of Edith Finch, Journey, the Pathless. God, 12 minutes.
Yeah, look at you.
Artful Escape, Last Stop.
So yeah, I would say
I'm like, I could probably keep going, but I'm like Unfinished Swan, which was one of my favorites. Like I love that.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good game.
And then the other one is I Am Dead.
So that one I have not played. I've heard about it though.
That one was a very, very interesting one to me.
Okay.
And then Flower, obviously. Flower and Journey were two of those games on, I want to say PS3, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I didn't know those were Annapurna
games.
Nice, okay. Everything else you mentioned, I'm familiar with all of them. I just didn't know those two were Annapurna.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you hear that publisher, the game is going to be unique. So I think Stray definitely falls right in place with all the Annapurna interactive games.
Yeah, Neon White's on my list of things I want to play.
Yeah, definitely.
And I saw that it's out on Switch too, which makes me really want to just dive into it on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested in Stray. I know it's been out on PC for a while, and it just came to PlayStation, right? Or was it early release on PC? Maybe.
I think they released at the exact same time. Okay. But I honestly do have an issue keeping up with PC releases.
No, there's so many.
You could so you could be right where it came out.
I feel like I saw it on the Steam store a long time ago, but it could be like a pre-release.
Right, hey, add to your wish list or pre-order. But no, it's very fun. Like I said, I wouldn't drop $30 on it based on what I've played so far.
How's the music?
The music is phenomenal, man. It's fantastic.
They literally sell a soundtrack edition on PC. So I was wondering if the music was good, because it's
the music's great, the audio is great, the visuals are great, but the meat and potatoes of it being a game is more, to me so far, it feels more like an experience. If that makes sense.
No, I gotcha.
So yeah, because of that, I would say if you have upgraded your PlayStation Plus service, check it out. If you're really big into cats, then maybe the $30 is totally worth it. But yeah, no, it's neat.
Okay. All right, and
But
then
yeah.
you were saying more Valorant. Is that the?
Oh yeah, more Valorant. I'm noticing that I just like torturing myself. Like it's such a fun game. I'm not great at it, but it just feels good when everything is clicking. When your team is clicking, team composition is clicking. When you as an individual, you're clicking. Like it's rare for all that to happen, but when it happens, it feels so good.
Okay.
And I know I think I mentioned it on connection interruption or interrupted. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
Interruption. No, you got it.
Thank you. But I was mentioning how like the community was toxic.
Yeah.
That was then. Right now, I haven't had any issues, man.
Oh, wow.
Everyone has been very pleasant.
Okay.
No like racism, no hate jokes.
Oh yeah. That's good.
It's been fantastic. So I have no complaints right now. Definitely recommend it if you're on PC, you're looking for a challenge. It's free to play. But what about you, Ryan? I'm not sure if you want to touch on Valorant at all, but I know you want to kind of get into what you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in playing more Valorant. Like I told you before, when you delete it from your system and you go back and reinstall, you have to start in the tutorial again, which I'm not looking forward to. But I did re-download it on PS5.
Wait, is it on console?
Or sorry, not PS5. I don't know why I said PS5. My brain is on PS5 right now.
That's okay.
On PC on the PC that we're on. I think my brain's on PS5 because I have like so many things that I want to be playing on it this weekend.
Right.
I'm like trying to like space out time. I literally posted something on Facebook earlier that was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to maximize the hours this weekend.
Right.
But I'm going to do my best.
But your fingers are crossed for you. Reality
is I really need to get some extra sleep, but there's I don't think that's going to happen. But I've been playing Figment on the Switch. It's a $20 E for Everyone title. It's an action adventure game. It's set. This is where it gets really weird. It's set in someone's mind.
Oh wow!
So it's essentially like this strange world where it's filled with like your deepest thoughts and urges and memories. The voices in your head.
Wow.
Oh, excuse me.
Really
yeah, it's it's very cool. I paid $1.99 for it.
Really?
It was on sale at one point during one of the Switch sales, and it's been on sale and off sale and on sale and off sale. So kind of hold out.
Right.
I think it's worth the $20. But I know it's always like it's on sale, off sale. Like I feel like every other time there's a new sale, it's on and off.
Yeah.
I got it for $1.99. There's a second game already.
Okay.
But it definitely has some really cool moments. You have to be awake.
Got you.
It's not that it's slow or it's boring, but if you're not, if you play this game when you're tired, I feel like you're gonna miss a lot of the little subtleties in it.
Got you.
And that's kind of where I think its bread is buttered, so to speak. There are so many cool little, like, colorful changes, like just backgrounds, and you don't expect a game on the Switch to really wow you graphically.
Right.
I think it legitimately does the best that you can with the graphics, and it has that hand drawn feel like Bravely Default. It kind of has that feel. It's not as it's not as detailed as Bravely Default in that regard, but it has that kind of feel when it comes to the graphics a little bit.
I'm looking at some of the images here. I love the colors. Like it really pops.
Oh, man, I am running on empty. I keep yawning. I apologize, everybody. It's been we're actually recording on a second night because of last night. I bailed. So if you're listening to
it
this
was
on
pretty late
Friday, though. It was after like 1:30.
Yeah,
but
it's all right though.
As we've been trying to do some new things, we've had some technical difficulties along the way, which has made it for some late nights. But I am dragging tonight, so I apologize. So,
It's all good, man.
But I think this game is one of those that just everybody missed it.
Right. I'm going to add this to my wish list after watching this trailer and hearing what you have to say about it.
Yeah, like I think everybody missed
great.
it. I think it's super, super fun. Tunic is another game that kind of is brought to mind with like the art style.
Yeah, I still need to find time to play that this year.
And that's one of those games that's really cool. I think that if you like this first Figment, the second one will be an interesting one too.
So is the second one already available?
Yep. Yeah, the second one's already out.
Okay.
So, the second one is called Figment 2 Creed Valley.
Okay.
I haven't played it yet because I wanted to beat the first one first.
Right.
But like in the second one, nightmares like cause you to have like struggles with your moral compass. Like that's kind of where they say it goes. Now the other thing about this game that's cool, like when you look at some of the pictures, you'll see like a piano keyboard that you walk across, and like there's a trumpet in one of the levels like that you see. So it has some really like musically bosses, like musical boss fights and puzzles, and just really cool, unique environments in both of these games. I hope. I haven't played the second one yet, obviously, but.
Right, but I mean, based on how vivid the first one looks, there's no way they're going to turn back on that.
Yeah, well, in the second one, they talk about like there's musical showdowns where like each boss has and each nightmare has different theme songs.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to getting through this first one to play the second one. It's not out yet. The second one's not out.
It's not available yet.
Releasing in 2022. So.
Okay, so this sometime this year.
October 15th.
Oh, okay.
So we got a little bit. I got a little bit of time to finish this first one.
Okay, I might have to check it out. This looks awesome.
The store. It is in the store already. So again, I get super confused with the eShop and stuff because they put like pre sale stuff up way early. In my opinion,
yes, they really do.
Like,
you're right about that.
I legitimately thought that the second one has been out for a while, but it has not. So. Anyway, Figment, it's really, really cool, and I'm looking forward to playing some more of it, hopefully tonight before I go to bed, but we'll see.
Nice.
and hopefully some throughout the weekend. WWE 2K22 had a new expansion release, so I've been back into that. I apologize in advance to everyone who hates hearing me talk about WWE because they're tired of it. But the DLC plans for this game and all the downloads from like the community just make this game so much fun.
Now, real quick, hate the cut in.
You're good.
Are the DLC packs, are they just additional wrestlers?
Yes.
Or is there extra stuff on top of that?
So I should say no, but I'm going to say yes because it really is just extra wrestlers.
Okay.
But they did release in one of the updates the new NXT arena.
Ooh, okay.
The
nice.
NXT 2.0 arena. But I can't get enough of this game. And the last game sucked so bad.
Yeah.
And then Battle, what was it? WWE Battle.
What was
whatever.
that? Oh my god! It was like NBA Jam, but
kinda,
wrestling basically.
Yeah. So my youngest loves that game. Like he plays a lot of it. He really thinks it's fun. I get it. It is over the top. It's just not
All Stars.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that wasn't it.
No.
No, that was the previous one.
Right.
That was the one on the 360.
Yeah.
That one was actually
that wasn't
decent,
bad.
But
what was the other one called? Battlegrounds.
Battle Crew. Oh come on! I should know this. He plays.
I think I'm looking at this artwork here. I think it's Battlegrounds.
That is it. It is it. So
the characters look all exaggerated.
Yeah. So we play a decent amount of that still because Parker really enjoys it. It's Arcadian over the top.
Right.
But he always goes, I want to play the real wrestling. meaning
Oh, okay.
meaning 2K
2K, yeah,
22.
23 or 22.
Yeah, so we spend a little bit of time on that.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few creative wrestler people that I follow on social media that I legitimately go and they're like, "Hey, I released this character," in the creator wrestler
Mm-hmm.
online community, and I will go and download it immediately.
Nice.
I literally will just turn the system on to go download that wrestler before it gets taken off for some reason.
Right.
Because sometimes they take them off because of copyright reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
I'm
own
pretty
the right to
sure.
the figure or whatever. But I mean, people have just
Yeah.
gotten so good. One of the guys is What's the Status. I'll just shout him out because his stuff is phenomenal.
Nice.
Um, some of his creative wrestlers look better than the wrestlers in the game themselves.
That's saying a lot, man.
And that game when I have that really is a comfort food game for me.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but when the AEW game comes out, because it's being made by Ukes, I'm gonna be all over that because I loved the
Yeah.
old WWF WrestleMania 2000 NWO
Mm-hmm.
or WCW versus NWO World Tour.
Same. Those are some of
The
the
number
best.
of hours that I put into those games when I was younger, it's a must play for me when that AEW game
Definitely.
comes out. So I've been obviously in WWE. I've been playing some Madden. We played some Madden together. If you want to go back and watch that video, we'll be able to pop that up here, and you can take a look if
Yep.
you want to check that out.
Full disclaimer. Excuse my audio. I'm a
Uh,
jabroni. I'm a
it's
jabroni. I didn't double check my mic, and I was definitely using the mic from the laptop and not this fancy thing here. So,
well, and
other than that, it's a great video. Definitely recommend
well,
checking it out.
and playing him, I never noticed it.
Exactly. Yeah. So
So
it was
it's
all me.
whatever. I did spend some time in Elden Ring.
Whoa! You guys hear that?
Mm.
Are you guys listening? If you've watched all of our episodes, that's a big thing there for Ryan to try out Elden Ring. Whether you liked it or not, just props for checking it out.
I don't like it. Listen, we knew going in it's not my type of game, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I've not been a huge fan of Skyrim or any of those
Right.
types of games. The only real action adventure RPGs that I've ever really been into are the Zelda games. Kingdoms of Amalur caught my attention for a while.
That was a fun game. That really was a good time.
And I actually got the Re-Reckoning because it was free on PlayStation Plus at one point. And then I got it on Switch because I was like, oh, I'd like to play this on the go. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. What was I thinking? I can't read the screen, dude. I have really good eyesight, and the text on the Switch is too small in that game.
Really?
Yeah, it's just too small. I'm like, man, it's just no. But I did spend some time in Elden Ring. I don't like it. I don't hate it.
Which class did you start with?
Oh, the one that everybody going back and reading it, everybody said is stupid hard.
Oh, got you.
And that may be part of my problem.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Wretch. Does that sound right?
Let's see. Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, the one that's just in their underwear?
I think so.
Oh man, yeah, you definitely set
Yeah.
yourself up for that.
Yeah, I'm I'm good with just being in my drawers, but yeah, I should have done something different, but I didn't.
Yeah, I was a vagabond. To be honest, though, from what I experienced, that's just to kind of get you going. Once you really get into the game, yeah, based on how you level up your character, they can end up being whatever you want them to be.
Yeah, I just didn't spend enough time with it for one. I don't want to say that it's a bad game. I don't think that it is. I think there's some depth to it that makes sense as to why people would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I understand the entertainment value for people in the game. I think it's beautifully done. I think it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have it has to do with me and my time. I don't have 80 hours to put into a game. So I immediately go in skeptical, like, am I going to spend enough time playing this to really get into it, and am I going to enjoy the time that I spend on it? And if the answer to any of those questions is no, then
why?
Then why am I doing it? I did this for the show purposes, actually. I only did it, like, just because everybody has been saying over the course of the last few months, like, you got to play this game, you got to play this game. I think that I'm not a Souls game person.
Right.
I'm just not. And I've played some of the other ones, and I've tried those over the course of time, too. Bloodborne is the only controller where I've actually spiked game where I've spiked a controller on the ground.
Yeah.
I literally threw it through a coffee table at our condo when that game came out. I was so mad. I still have the controller. I kept it for evidence. I don't know where it's at, but it's here somewhere. But, I have that collection of controllers where I have one of, like, every color.
Yeah.
And it was one of the ones that now you can't find anywhere, so the only way to keep the collection intact, like, it's here and it's pieces.
It's just there. Battle damaged.
It was destroyed.
But it's so funny to hear what you're saying, because, like, I've always dabbled in the Souls-likes, but never, like, got all the way into where I beat one. And, like, I've heard from a lot of people that play all of them that this is the one. Like, if you can get into Elden Ring, then you can, you're encouraged to go back and try the other ones. And that's kind of what's happening to me. Like, I haven't actually done it yet, but I did buy Dark Souls on I did buy Dark Souls on the Switch, and when I find time, I'm gonna try to get all the way through it. Well, luckily, hopefully it'll be the Joy-Cons that I throw, not the actual Switch. Right? We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get into it again. I just don't see that it's gonna.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, I think what you said was completely valid. Like, I don't want you to feel pressured to try it just because I'm enjoying it. We are definitely allowed.
I think it's just I want to like it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to say, okay, I actually do enjoy this game. There are elements of it that I think are cool. I think that visually it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Do I think it's a little dark? Sure. But I think overall it's good. So as far as, like, the visuals, so.
Right.
I could see myself getting and giving it another shot, but I don't know. We'll see.
Like, I'm someone that doesn't completely listen to metal, but, like, I would consider these games metal. Like, when you see what happens to these bosses, or some of the things that you experience in the world, or the cutscenes where a boss transforms, I'm just picturing all of that stuff as influence for some metal band to, like.
Yeah,
that's what to write and create about, if that makes any sense. It's epic. It's some cool stuff.
Yeah, I think that anybody who likes this series, like the Soul series, they're masochists, straight up. like I play them on like easy mode, dude, and I'm still no. So ain't it. Yeah, it's not gonna take over time from Fortnite. I can tell you that. I've been playing that with the kids again. I hate building mode in Fortnite, but now that I can play without it. You catch me on it a lot more often.
Yeah, I need to play with you more, because I don't play it at all, or as much as I used to. And the fact that they got rid of building, it means I should play more. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's the only reason I play more. But I've been playing it on PlayStation again.
Okay.
I've been going kind of back and forth. My accounts are all linked, except for my Switch account isn't, because I didn't think to link the Switch account when you could still link them.
I think you still can, right? Or no?
No, they stopped it. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I go back and forth between Switch, Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and I tend to play it on Switch at night before I go to bed. But I've been playing Fortnite quite a bit again. Yeah. I unlocked Indiana Jones, which I was super excited about.
Hey, congrats!
Yeah, and anytime I can unlock freebies, like you had 5 challenges or whatever quests you had to do, and then you can unlock additional ones. There's 5 more things you can unlock that are included in, like, additional challenges. But I don't know if I'll dig into any of those. I tried to find one of them, and then I got killed by the rolling ball, like the big
No
stone.
way.
Oh, I did. I unlocked this thing and it opened up, and I was like, "Oh, sweet!" And then all of a sudden, the ball comes rolling at you, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I tried to turn and run away, and I got killed by it. So
that's cool that that's actually in the game on the map.
Yeah, it was very, very cool.
I love that.
But yeah, I would say that's pretty much it. I played some Mortal Kombat on the arcades, here in the game room. Dig Dug.
Oh my god!
I now currently have the high score in Dig Dug on my Miss Pac-Man cabinet.
Nice.
It is not my all-time high score on that game, but it is going to be very, very difficult for anybody in this home to beat it. And the kids have been trying because they're like, "There's no way."
That was my next question. Actually, I'm like, so do people actually come down and look at the high score? And
yeah, sometimes.
That's awesome.
I thought about putting up a board, like a high score board, like they did in arcades back in the day.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Up above it, but I would just forget to update it, and then
right.
But the Dig Dug high score. I mean, I probably played for almost 2 hours on what essentially would have been 1/4.
Okay.
So I mean, I was rolling. But I don't know that I'll even ever beat it. I think maybe I've had a higher score than that one other time.
Yeah.
In an actual arcade. Because I know I have gotten to a further level before, but that doesn't necessarily mean that my score was as high.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know if you're aware in that game, and some people probably won't. Most people won't care because it's an old game. But we're OGs, so. But you can end the level without actually killing all the characters.
That I never knew.
So they can literally just go up to the top of the world and walk off, and you didn't kill them, and you don't get points for them. They just leave.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, so you can legitimately not get into all the points in the level, and the level will end, and you'll move on to the next level without dying.
Yeah. But now there's points you're missing out on though, right?
Right, which is why I said I know for a fact I've gotten to further levels.
Right, but
I don't know that my score was as high as my score is now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because in this case, I did not have a single character get away.
Dang. So now is Dig Dug like most OG or old school games where it's kind of like on an endless loop? Like there really isn't an end, even if you've let's say they've designed 5 levels. I don't think
there's it
kind of loops and just speeds up. Is it something kind of like that?
Yeah.
Or does it have a definite end?
I don't know that I've ever hit an end game for it. I would guess it's probably much like Pac-Man, where the levels just continually get harder and faster.
Yeah.
Because it definitely does get crazy fast.
Yeah.
As you go, and then some of the levels all of a sudden, or that you had one bad guy to kill in the spot, there's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So it does get a little wild, but it's funny to watch the kids try to play it, and then all of a sudden, the little dinosaur that shoots out the flames,
oh yeah,
shoots flames out on them. They're like, what? And I'm like, welcome to the real world where the games were hard,
right?
But yeah, man, I've been digging, getting into some of those again. I'm really excited. I want to play 4-player Simpsons at some point.
Oh my gosh, I love that game. The beat 'em up.
Yeah, since I have it here in the game room now, I would love to play the 4-player one.
That's a lot of fun.
I would actually really like it if we could do it with adults that have played it as kids,
Yeah, kind of getting back to it.
It's too small. Even with it being built the way it is, it's too small. For all grown people to be playing. But
it'd be cool if it had like ports on it. I know it's not the same experience, but plugging in yeah, so you're not completely all hunkered over on the mini.
One cool thing on the new arcade 1-ups is they put headphone jacks on them.
No way.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the 2 newest ones that I have a headphone jack where you can just plug in so people don't have to hear it.
That's cool. That's some of the best things about older games. Or maybe it's just me enjoying that chiptune kind of sound.
I think you just really like the chiptune sound.
I
do too, but I when you go back and think about it, it's the soundtrack on that game wasn't all that great.
Or maybe I guess the fact that I would have to assume it's because of storage constraints, but older NES games, each level or just the game itself, things would kind of loop. So here I am, 15, 20 years later, And if I'm like just multitasking in the house, I can easily hum, a level from a Mega Man game or a Mario game. But
Well,
like, I
yeah,
can't recall the sound of, I don't know, Death Stranding,
right.
where there's licensed music from churches, unless I just listen to the band on a regular basis. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I don't know if that
Oh
makes any
no, I
sense or
totally
not.
get it.
But
So I had this
yeah.
conversation, actually with Sherry a long time ago,
Oh, nice.
where I said, name a Sony franchise with an iconic soundtrack.
Mm. So yeah, I instantly go to Uncharted. Like
Okay.
I could hear the Uncharted intro.
Other than Uncharted, I would challenge that you will find nothing.
Right. I
Um,
think you got me
so
there.
that was where it got interesting for me. So like, if you hear Zelda, you know it's Zelda. You hear Mario, you
Yeah.
know it's Mario.
Yeah.
Tetris, you know really really well, like that opening theme from
Mm-hmm.
Tetris, right?
Yep.
Pac-Man, everybody knows that, like the
Yeah.
intro. Um, and Dig Dug has one that's fairly recognizable. I don't know that everybody would recognize it, but it's one that when I hear it, I'm like, oh, somebody's playing Dig Dug downstairs again.
Right.
Um, but and you have Nintendo that like has so many,
Man.
right?
Yeah.
And then Microsoft, everybody knows the Halo theme.
Yep. Most definitely. Everyone.
Like they hear it and they know it's Halo.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of those things that get me into some games. Like I'm looking for a game with a good soundtrack. Like
Yeah.
in my car right now, the Overwatch soundtrack CD is in it.
Nice. Okay.
That game soundtrack is underrated.
I would agree with you.
It
I
is
feel like
way underrated, and I know it won some
yeah.
awards, so I know that sounds crazy, but it like the symphonic sound that it has, like
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. Just there's just certain things about it, and that's
Yeah.
the reason that I brought up PlayStation not having anything iconic musically is because we were gonna jump into the main topic of the show, which is going to be less time than the remainder of the show, really. Um, this Nintendo or the PlayStation Stars program, and I almost called it the Nintendo
Yeah.
Stars program.
Yeah. That's kind of funny because in most Nintendo games you're collecting coins.
Yeah,
So
coins with stars and whatever. But I don't like. So I did some research on it because I had originally told you like I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
There is nothing in this program that makes it stand out from the other ones to me.
I agree with you. I think it's like, so actually let's just do like a quick rundown just to catch up the viewers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you own a Switch, there's a My Nintendo program that you can enroll in where you earn basically coins. On the console itself, those coins accrue based on purchases, and then those end up in turn being discounts on digital purchases. But then there's also the website that you can go to where you can actually purchase with those earned coins physical items to be mailed to you, or even like wallpapers for your phone or your desktop. And then Xbox, they have a loyalty program as well. And if I'm not mistaken, you can actually use that on Microsoft or the Xbox store to
Yep.
get discounts on games as well.
Yeah,
Or even on services, right? You can actually add this to get discounts on like your Game Pass service. Is
Yeah,
that true?
so you basically it adds cash to your Microsoft account.
Nice. Yeah. So,
So like when I pay my monthly service for Game Pass and all the stuff that goes with Game Pass, because I'm a Game Pass premium guy with PC.
yeah,
and
there you go. Console.
if I cash in my rewards, when I cash those in and put them on my account, instead of it charging my credit card for the full amount, it'll take the money off of my account first.
Nice. That's
and
awesome.
then charge me for the remainder. It's awesome, except for when you're not expecting it to, and then you go to buy something, and then you're like, "Wait, I thought I had $10 on here."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really cool.
So yeah, those things have already been around, and so PlayStation has just never had that. I think the closest thing they had to it was if you had like the PlayStation credit card, you would earn points on purchases just like all credit cards, but you could actually cash the points in for like games or digital currency. But it's not something that's really marketed or talked about.
Right.
So this PlayStation Stars program, to me, like you were saying, it doesn't really wow you because it's really just them playing catch up. You know,
Yeah.
I think the one thing that is kind of interesting though, is kind of scaring people, because we were reading through this before the show started, and they were talking about digital collectibles. And I'm just gonna
Yeah.
read this. Yeah, this is straight off of the PlayStation blog. So it says here, as part of PlayStation Stars, we are unveiling a new type of reward called digital collectibles. Collectibles are as diverse as our portfolio of products and franchises. They are digital representations of things that PlayStation fans enjoy, including figurines of beloved and iconic characters from games and other forms of entertainment, as well as cherished devices that tap into Sony's history of innovation. There will always be a new collectible to earn, an ultra rare collectible to strive for, or something surprising to collect just for fun. And we literally at the exact same time saw that, and we were like, this kind of sounds like NFTs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know those are things people aren't really excited about. But I think if it's something everyone can actually earn, and it's not just like one person that's going above and beyond to be the only human being on the planet Earth to have this one thing and then trying to make money off of it. If it gets to that, then yes, then it's gonna be ugly. But if it's something that you can't resell and you earn it with your efforts and your time,
Right.
and it pops up on your profile, if that's the case, I'm all for it. But if it's gonna get to the point where people are like selling their PSN profiles because they got some rare digital collectible, that's gonna get kind of weird and kind of distract us from what these actually are meant to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So my big concern is like, and I've seen people that have a ton of them, like in Destiny, like because you
Mm-hmm.
can get those extra what do you call them, like banners and stuff,
Okay,
like,
right, yeah,
and
yeah.
you like you can earn those or you can buy those.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's my concern, is that like it's just going to be another thing that it's like, all right, well, here's more of this junk that I have to, like have in order to be considered like a true gamer, like,
Right.
I'm bad because I have those collectibles that I really want to get. Like I know for a fact that when I play WB Multiversus, that when they have different skins for Harley Quinn, like I'm gonna want all
Mm-hmm.
of them.
Right.
Or if I can
Especially
get
if it's
a
a
Batman animated series Batman,
right.
or the '60s Batman, like if there's different Batman skins, like I'm gonna want them.
Of course.
And that's my concern, is they're gonna start doing some things like that in this PlayStation thing, where it's like the only way to get them is to do XYZ, and then I'm gonna spend all this time that I don't have, or like I really don't like to spend a ton of money on those skins, and I know, like, I'm
Yeah.
saying that, and in Fortnite, I know I have way too many that I've paid for.
Right.
But I understand why people are concerned about it being NFTs, and I am as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah, I feel like
um,
it's as long as it's done with taste and it's encouraging you to just actually play. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
or play a game in a way that you never thought you could play it, and because of that you earned something to kind of show off to people. If it's really done that way, I think that's going to be kind of exciting, cuz like just imagine where we hit a month where there's not much coming out, and at that point it's time to look at the backlog. PlayStation sees that, they're aware of it, and then they give you some really unique challenge to complete within a certain time period, and now you got this cool little tag or banner, and it's universal because it's tethered to your PSN ID and not necessarily just that game that other people have to see.
yeah,
I
and
think
that's
that I think they're onto
Xbox
something with
Rewards
that.
has something like that.
Right. Hmm.
Where like, hey, this is the game we want you to play. You got to go in and like make this card active, and then do
Yeah.
whatever that thing is in that card.
Right.
And sometimes that's cool, and other times it's like, man, that's super frustrating. But
Right. It's like, no thanks.
like with the way that Xbox has it, you are automatically getting like points that can go towards other items. It can either go towards cash on your
Hmm.
account, or it can
Right.
go towards like if they're running a raffle or something, you can apply it
Hmm.
towards raffle points or something like that. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see what Sony does. I think it's too little too late on
Yeah.
this one. but I'm glad that they're finally playing catch up a little bit.
Same here.
This generation, I think they are in the we're probably defeated mode a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's the lack of consoles being in people's living rooms and in their game rooms and wherever. Like, I think that they've realized that they're behind the 8 ball here.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find different ways to, one, generate revenue, which is why I think there's 3 tiers of PlayStation Plus now.
Definitely.
It's an additional way to generate revenue from the people that actually do have the consoles in their homes. I think that they've got to come up with some way to generate some excitement around the product because people still want it.
Definitely.
Right?
You're absolutely right about that. Yeah.
But this chip shortage that's creating this like supply and demand issue, and like, yes, GameStop is an affiliate of our show, or we're an affiliate of GameStop, and I'm going to kind of bash it here. Stop selling bundles. Stop making people buy bundles with games in it that they just don't want.
Like, at one point in time, the bundles made sense. Right here, right now, I personally don't think they do, because I used to know groups and individuals that were literally just making a living off of flipping console.
Yeah.
Right here, right now, the way things are, that's not really the case. You know what I mean? So I get it. You don't make much money on the console sale when you're in retail, and it's all on accessories and hardware. I'm sorry, accessories and software attached. I get how important that is for retail.
Yeah, but attach rate.
Fully understand.
I get attach rate.
But come on.
As someone who killed attach rate as a store manager,
yeah.
I was able to get more pieces attached by not having required pieces.
Because you as an individual, as a manager, as a salesman, you were creating those packages right then and there.
Geared towards that specific customer.
Individual, exactly.
That customer wants games, XYZ. They don't want games ABC. Yes. Right? They don't want Call of Duty. The PS5 bundle this weekend had Call of Duty Vanguard in it.
Mm-hmm. No one wants Vanguard.
Who wants that?
Sorry. Yeah, no one wants it. No disrespect to the team that put their hard work and effort into developing the game.
I'll disrespect that team. I don't care.
Go off.
There is a Call of Duty every year.
Yeah.
And I loved Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2 and is by far my favorite Call of Duty. You're remaking that game. I don't know when it comes out.
All I know is October. I don't have the exact date in my head, but I know it has to be October.
I used to look forward to Call of Duty's release every year. It was the first week of November.
Yeah.
It was that first week in November. I knew I was getting that date. I knew this is when it was coming. I was going to be ready. We're going to have a midnight release. I was excited. I was always jazzed for it. I do not care.
Yeah.
And I've bought all of them up until this last one.
Yeah.
Don't make me have to buy a bundle. Because I texted you this past weekend, and I said I'm considering trying to get another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that it was bundled with Call of Duty, and I went, nope.
Never mind.
Nope.
Never mind.
You want to do attach? Cool. Make me buy it with a game.
Right.
Don't make me buy it with a specific game.
Yeah.
Say the only way you can get this is if you
grab a $69 game off the shelf.
It has to be the system and at least one $69 game and an extra controller, or one full price game and a charge station, whatever. Bundle accessories all day.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
Bundle accessories that matter.
Yep.
Stop making people buy games they don't want.
Just that simple.
Just stop. And I know I get the financial ramifications of it, but you could let people build their own bundles.
Yeah, because we could really go deep into this, because it probably comes down to, hey, our buyers bought too many copies of Call of Duty PS5.
Don't say probably.
But they were expecting to sell through this many copies by this time period, and we didn't. So now when we get our PlayStation 5 consoles to sell to customers, to make up for the fact that we overbought this game, we're gonna attach it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm sorry you made that mistake, but the customer shouldn't have to
right. And you don't have to say probably bought too many, because they bought too many. As someone who worked and ran one of those stores, you know that there were way too many copies of that game bought every single year.
Every year, you're right.
Like every year.
You're spot on.
So you're not missing it. Like you're really like there's a hit here. I'm at the point, like, I know the show's gone long and we're gonna cut it here soon, but people like consumers, you have to do what you want to do and make sure that you're getting the games that you want.
Yeah.
Like, don't go out there and buy the console just because it's the only way they're going to do it is put it in a bundle. Like, don't do it. Like,
because you could get it straight through. Like, and once again, we come from brick and mortar, so that's something we like to encourage you to do when you want to buy. But at the same time, PlayStation Direct, they've gone up with PS5 consoles on a regular basis. Like, we put episodes up every 2 weeks, and I've seen PlayStation Direct have PlayStation 5s available for you guys.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's not quite the same as a GameStop bundle. They do come with Horizon Forbidden West, but it's pre-packaged in the box, so that's a little different. But I don't think you're paying extra for the game. And if you are, it's like
I don't think you are, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that it's just the point for me where, like, I think that GameStop is trying to maximize their profit margin, and I get that as someone who ran a store. And when I say a store, I mean like almost every store in the district that I worked in at some point or another.
Yeah.
You just have to give the consumers the things they want. Put them in a situation where they can get the games they want.
Yeah, like they walk away legitimately happy with the purchase.
Yeah.
Not walking away on the phone, yo, I just copped the PS5, but I got Vanguard.
Yeah, well then,
like only way I could get this thing is if I had to walk out with this and that.
And what's the trade-in value on Vanguard right now?
Bro, I don't even want to look it up.
I bet it's less than $20.
Probably right. There's no demand for it.
There's zero demand for it.
Yeah,
but like you have to think that at some point Sony's got to get this going, and that's where this rewards program's coming from. They know that they're behind on this one.
Yep.
It's been almost an every other generation thing. It was 360 was strong, PS3 wasn't. PS4 was really strong. Xbox One kind of missed. Microsoft missed on the Xbox One because the original announcement really pissed some people off.
Yes, it did.
But you gotta think that Sony's looking for an answer right now.
And I also think I think they know that there is literally like a leveling out that's coming. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's already there. And so when everything levels out, they want all those boxes checked. You know what I'm saying? Like the PlayStation Plus, the Xbox Live, check. Game Pass, and then the extras and the premium tiers, check. There's a consumer loyalty program, check. You know what I mean? Like they're really trying to make sure all that stuff is checked. So then when you're really digging into it, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the games that are exclusive to that console.
Right.
That really is going to make you make that decision. So
I love my PS5. I love games that are on it. I just think that Sony is behind.
Right. Well, yeah, in terms of everything else. I feel like they got it with games. And
the first party,
they're playing catch up with the services. Yeah.
I mean, first party games, I can't get enough of what they have. I just am like, I don't know, man. I'm disappointed for the people who are super big fans that can't get one.
Same here, man.
And I go into stores, like I go to Micro Center, I go to Walmart, I go to Target. Yeah. Switches and Xboxes are back in stock.
They're there. Yeah, they're there. Yep.
And it may not be the X, but the S is available. And
I was just gonna say, like,
quick, like.
Yeah, because like I do have a PC, and because of that, I can play Xbox exclusives on that with Game Pass.
Right.
But I was just kind of curious about the console itself, and yeah, the X's aren't hard. I mean, aren't easy to find, but the S's, I can just pull the trigger on one right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of odd that I can't do that with the PlayStation.
Yeah, and I mean, I got the PS5 model that's digital only because I tend not to buy physical games anymore.
Physical,
but like,
yeah.
I can see the need for the physical one for some people, but for me, it was like I'm gonna get the digital one. Now, the more often I look, like I'm like maybe I should have gotten the disc-based one because of the things that are on sale on Black Friday and whatever. But
Yeah.
the number of digital games on sale have been good too. So
Right. Like seriously, that's the only that's the only perk. You know what I mean? Like instead of waiting for it to go on sale digitally, because it'll only go on sale digitally on the PlayStation Store.
mm-hmm.
When you have the physical or when you have the console that has a disc drive, the games go on sale all the time everywhere. You know, and if you're okay with that, then great. We will get to a point to where there's multiple PS5s in a house, and when that happens, digital is going to make the most sense. You know what I mean? Like we all know how that primary console can buy all the games.
It's killing me
and
on
then
the
you
Switch
can have,
right now, though.
What's that?
That whole concept kills me on the Switch because Nintendo has finally gotten to the point where like it will kick you off of one.
Right. Now PlayStation won't do that if you're on like if you're the primary person but playing on secondary.
Yeah.
And then the secondary person playing on the primary, then you can play the same games at the same time.
Right.
But you're right, Nintendo, that's just a different story. Like I don't even know how to get into that.
Yeah. We'll save that for another show because we're up against it here.
Yeah, we're going off. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. We're just we've talked about trying to keep it in an hour, and we're gonna wind up at an hour and a half again, almost an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh no!
But we could go forever on different topics. So, but yeah, this program, it's par for the course. It's just trying to get them even, I think. So
yeah, definitely.
I think
it's ultimately good for the consumer at the end of the day.
That's what we're here for at this point, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, even when we were store managers, we were very consumer driven, because we knew like anybody who's ever worked in a GameStop knows that the reality is you have to make it to where the customer wants to come back.
Yep.
And we knew that, and we used to fight that battle on a regular basis. But I think that this is good for Sony. I think it's good for Microsoft. I also think it's good for Nintendo, who marches to the beat of their own drum. Like, you have competition. Competition is good for all gamers. And I think these programs help with that. So I'm all for it.
Same. I agree.
So, all right, everybody. Well, we're up against the clock.
Yeah, backs against the wall. We are tapped out.
I'm legitimately like, oh man, we went over again.
But yeah, we're gonna get into the hang of this where we get close to an hour. So bear with us. We're still trying to become the well-oiled machine that we strive to be.
The well-oiled machine.
But definitely look out for us next week. We typically go live every other Wednesday. The plan is to play Multiversus 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look out for that. And then the week after will be another episode like this. Feel free to get into the comments and let us know what you would like us to talk about. We literally go back and forth on the topics.
Follow us on social media.
Yes, check us out on IG. Check us out on Twitter. I feel like we're not on it daily, but we're on it enough to where you should at least see us poking out every once in a while.
Twitter, Twitter, we post almost every day.
That is true. Almost every day on Twitter.
Pretty safe.
I would say probably twice a week on IG, but almost every day on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, get in the comments. Like we want to interact. We want this to be, was it two-sided? I know it's two of us over here on this side of things.
We want
to go back and forth. We want you guys to engage with us. Ask us questions.
we want the other OGs involved, not just the OGs that you
Yes.
see on the screen. We want those of you that have been playing forever.
Mm-hmm.
Even if forever to you is 4 or 5 years because you're 15 whatever and you're watching the show. I
Mm-hmm.
know we have some younger members of our audience as well that like to hear what old guys are talking about. I actually had somebody reach out and be like, "It's cool that you old guys still play games," and I was like,
Yeah.
"I mean,
It's a
yeah, we
fight to make
we
it
do
happen, but
we do, and sometimes we choose games over sleep, and
sometimes.
yeah, I'm not as bad about it anymore. But
Yeah,
I
same here.
used
Same
I
here.
used to wait and my alarm would go off and I'd still be playing from the night before.
I've been there.
Yeah. That all started after somebody ruined Mass Effect 3 for me.
Oh God, let's not get into that.
So we'll talk about
Let's
that
say
on another show too, because I want to do an episode of games that were spoiled for you.
Oh, dude, we can do a
'Cause,
whole episode on that.
like, I know I
Yeah,
can
that's a
do a
good
whole
idea.
episode on that. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, y'all. We will catch you next time. Be sure to follow us on all social media channels. You can find me at Touched Artist. Brian is BMax2nd on Twitter and IG,
And
right?
IG, yes, sir.
So I'm literally Touched Artist on every platform. Somehow I was able to snatch that up
Lucky.
for everything. So be sure to reach out, and we'll catch you guys on the next show. And we'll see you
See
next
ya.
Wednesday for some WB Multiversus, as long as it's up and running. Should be open beta.
Fingers
So,
crossed.
all right, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.